Coming up in high school, you know, the drinking and the smoking pot, I just thought that was normal. That's what most people done. Went 2 years of college at the University of New Mexico. Things didn't work out, so I came back home and worked for Texas Instrument. That's when I was introduced to crack cocaine. For a long time, for about 20 years. In and out of treatment centers, did a year in prison, got out, thought that was gonna be my rock bottom, but it wasn't. I got out and in about a year, I was using again. I said to myself that I could use crack cocaine for the rest of my life. I actually said that because it made me feel so good. Not knowing that where it was gonna lead me to almost destroyed me, almost killed me. And I just wanted the pain to stop, just end. Just how bad crack cocaine, it could lead you there. I would think about walking across a bridge and just stopping and just jumping over the bridge, all because I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop using. I couldn't stop hurting people. The guys come to the Salvation Army, they don't know what to expect. They don't know the next meal. Some of them come to the door with just the clothes on their back. And that old saying, doing the most good, I really like that. And we are trying to do the most and the best that we can. And you can see the results when you walk into an ARC and you can see how guys are changing their life, how guys are going out and being productive again in society. And I can put a prime example of me. Been clean 5 years, have my own apartment, and I'm doing good, and I love what I'm doing. And thanks to the Salvation Army that happened, and it can happen for anybody. The Salvation Army did save my life, and I am very thankful for that.
At an early age, I started smoking cigarettes and smoking pot and doing other little things. At the age of 14, 15 or so, I wasn't doing very well in school, and I was into making money. So I did odd jobs after that, laying carpet, doing a little bit of plumbing, bricklaying. I'd work for a couple of months, and then I'd go on a drinking binge or a weekend binge, and I just couldn't hold a job. I found myself for the first time in my life on the street, with nowhere to go. My mom called the sheriff's department and had me removed from her home. The sheriff's department took me down to the county hospital and evaluated me and gave me a couple of places that I could go to, the shelter, and then told me about this place, the ARC. And I heard that it was strict, it was tough, and I'd fought from coming in here for about 9 years. The Salvation Army gave me hope. They gave me a way to take time out of my life. It gave me structure. I began to look at the next 5 to 10 years down the road of where I was headed to or where I wanted to be. The Salvation Army gave me the opportunity to let Bill work on Bill. For the first time in my life, I've quit drinking. I've got 18 months sober. I've quit smoking. I guess 6 months from smoking cigarettes. I'm studying. I'm working on getting my GED. I have a purpose that I had never had before in my life. They have committed their lives to helping people like me, and that I can never repay.
16, 17 years in my marriage, I strayed from my marriage and had an affair. I started drinking a lot more and discovered drugs. I started spiraling worse and worse out of control. talking about things I never thought I would do. I mean, using around my kids, drinking around my kids, and lying to my children and to my family. There was a man I met at one of the treatment centers who said, when you're ready, when this point comes in your life where you have no place else to turn, call me, and I'll take you where I sobered up and my life changed, which was the Salvation Army. And one night at a hotel, I had the wrong people banging on the door, wanting money I didn't have. Family was not returning calls, friends weren't returning calls, and I was scared. Didn't know what else to do, so I called him up, and he brought me down to Salvation Army. So it's the longest walk you'll ever make, but I promise you, I did this 10 years ago, and you can too. When you come in here, you're given a job to do each day. You take pride in that job, build respect with your fellow workers out there and dock in, and get some self-worth again, because I had no self-worth when I was out there. It was a very humbling experience. I wouldn't trade the memories for it. I wouldn't trade what I learned for it for anything in the world. I learned more in those 11 months about myself than I had in 42 years. And 7 years ago at this time, my children were not in my life. They were, I'll use the word ashamed of their father, afraid for their father, scared. And the Salvation Army gave that back to me. They just did. They gave me a chance for redemption.